opening statement from Coach, followed by questions for Coach and the student athletes.
Oklahoma is really impressed with the job that Aaron and his staff are doing. They were very well prepared for us. And they came ready to battle. We all week long were struggling, some sicknesses and some girls banged up, and we found a way to win when we weren't totally feeling our best. So I'm really proud of this group. But again, I think I was expecting us to struggle a little bit with they run a really fast offense. I would argue the fastest in the country overhead. But they definitely exceeded my expectations on how well they played defensively. But we just persevered, and we're in the Sweet 16.
Valeria, it seemed like you guys were having a little bit of trouble with their blocks specifically. I'm curious what you saw in that they were maybe doing a little bit better to kind of stifle you guys there.
You mean like them blocking us?
Yes.
I mean, they're really tall, really physical team. I think me, Tori, Liv, we were predetermined and like where we wanted to hit, and then we talked to our coaches and we said, hey, we do this every time in practice. We have one of the best blocking teams in the country, so we're used to it. So it was just a matter of like flipping the switch.
Yeah, your team fought back in each set tonight. I mean, how impressed are you once again with your team's resiliency throughout the Sicily tournament and just going forward?
Yeah, I think it's who we are, and I liked not only we fight back, but I liked that we had less attacking errors in each set, and like their hitting percentage got worse each set. So I think we weren't playing our cleanest or in many different ways, but we kept just fighting and finding ways to get better as it went on.
Rachel, you and Olivia were matched up with Alexis Shelton, an all-SEC player, and you kept her to 0.59 a day. What was the mindset going into a match against a player like that?
Yeah, one of our keys was just zone 4 defense, I think. So we prepared a lot for defending the speed of their zone 4 attacks. And yeah, we just had a lot of reps like going into leave moves, and the motto of the night was just be good in your zone. So Liv and I were really focused on trying to have them be less of a threat.
And then Rachel, Oklahoma had to battle back yesterday to even make it to today. Then they have 2 set points in the first set. How important do you think it was for you guys to rally there and be able to put them away in that first set to kind of sap their energy a little bit?
Yeah, I think it was a good moment for us. I mean, any type match is a good experience and just good to have in your pocket. So I think just even though we weren't playing our best, finding a way to rally it out and take the match or take the set.
Dan, that challenge call to win that first set could have been a little bit risky considering you already had lost the challenge, but what does that say about your confidence level in Valeria, because she was adamant that ball was touched?
Yeah, I saw a touch too, so we were both very confident. I get the question is, what will it look like from the camera angle? So that was the Pitt, the camera's a little bit more zoomed out than the field house, and so we don't, if I'm really confident what I see, but if it's a micro touch, sometimes we're not sure if the camera will pick it up, so we decide not to, unless it's a really obvious one. But I think, if there's any doubt I had, probably Valeria convinced me.
You guys play Oregon next, who is number 4 ranked. You lost them at home. What is your mindset going into that game?
Well, I think probably the girls need to just take a day off, and finals are coming, and not think about volleyball. But I think we played them so early in the season that I don't think we can put too much on that. That they're a different team now, and we're going to have to prepare for a really, really tough opponent.
Coach, this weekend was the first time since like early middle of September that you guys like didn't have a day off like after a game, but you guys did this weekend. What was the mentality just for you guys having less than 24 hours to just recuperate and play again?
Yeah, I mean, it would have been more ideal for some of our players to have that rest, but I mean, I think we've kind of mapped it out as a team and talked about this is how it'll be. So it was expected, and you know, we did a few things early in the week for Oklahoma, then shifted focus to Morehead State, and so I just think we knew it was coming. So.
Rachel and Dan, you know, Valeria isn't necessarily the leading scorer for your team, but what does it say about her ability to turn it on in the moments that count? I mean, 10 kills today with the highest hitting percentage of the pin hitters.
Yeah, Valeria is very reliable. Even though she's not like touching the highest like inventory, and she's just like super consistent, always finding solutions. She's a utility player and very reliable.
And she was you know, she found a way to have a good offensive night and score points against a girl that was 6'8" and a really good blocker. So it was, she was a warrior tonight.
Valeria, how do you feel like you guys eventually wore down their block with the attack after, you know, kind of having some iffy moments with their size early in the first set?
Can you repeat the question?
I said, how do you feel like you guys kind of eventually wore down and were able to get around their block as the match went along?
I think, like I said, we were just predetermined, and we found a way to like hit higher. Rachel was putting up really good sets. It was on us to hit high, and that's what we did.
Rachel, Valeria, this is your last NCAA tournament. I mean, what are your feelings been like this weekend, and what are some things you guys are looking to improve upon, I guess, to next weekend, obviously with, you know, Oregon and potentially Elite 8 matchup here as well?
I mean, we're just playing every day like it might be our last. So there's a lot of emotions, and we're just playing with gratitude. We know next week is going to be really tough, but we do have the advantage of being home, so definitely taking that.
Yeah, I agree. Just one day at a time, taking every match, like what's in front of us, taking that one step at a time. And I really like what you said, playing with gratitude.
Dan, Olivia, and Tori didn't have the best nights, but what does that say about their specific resiliency that they just didn't stop attempting even when things weren't going well for them?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because we're just so used to Tori putting up unrealistic numbers. I still think she had a good offensive night, all things considered. Right. And Tori, Olivia was struggling a little bit, and they, you know, they made some good block moves, and you know, but we just about halfway through that third set, there was a timeout. I said, what's going to happen is you're going to score a bunch of points in a row, and she went back, had 2 aces, and killed the next 3, and it wasn't so much my words, it was more just her staying, you know, we try to not be a bad day team, but like a bad moment team, and so I think she did a nice job of finishing the game, playing really well.
Coach, at the end of the first set, Mallory Meyer, she had the last 2 serves. How do you like simulate something that big of a moment to close out a set for your team?
Well, we try and practice, but I don't know that you can totally simulate it. I mean, I think it matters to be there, you know, so it's good that she's had a couple of games in her belt. I think it matters that her teammates play with confidence, but you know, good on her to be ready to go.
Any other questions for coach or student athletes? Thank you.